Hey, yo, what is up, guys? Your boy Ed from Savij. You already know. For today's video, I have a really important and special video. It is my boy Vince topping with a Sky Striker deck. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. I didn't have the opportunity to actually go and meet up with him in person because we just live on very opposite sides of town. Our locals didn't really align. So what we ended up doing is that he ended up doing a video for me and sending it my way. Shout out to his brother for helping him out and doing this video too. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. He did do an intro, but didn't add a couple of people, and he said he wanted me to add on Omar and Julio for some shout outs, just like that. He also said that this is probably the best deck of ever. I've seen him play Sky Striker for a really long time, and I'm really excited that he got first place at the OTS championship. He ended up getting his mat, and it's really cool. Met this guy like 2-3 years ago now, and I think like 2 years ago, and it's just, this is a cool ass guy, and I just really appreciate him. Thank you, shout out for doing this video for me, and let's go ahead and get into it. Before we continue with today's video, don't forget to go check out my sponsors from Dank Rituals. They have some of the coolest playmats, deck boxes, oversleeves, even dice. They just came out with their brand new travel bag, and it is beautiful. I love it, and you guys will definitely love it yourselves. Make sure you guys click the link down in the description to go check them out.
All right, guys, who are we with today?
Vince Jared Elianige.
And can you tell us what you did?
I won last weekend's OTS Store Championships at Galaxy Gaming with Sky Striker, the best deck.
All right, before we get started, do you have any shout-outs?
Yeah, shout-outs to my friend group and also my testing circle. So my brother Lance behind the camera, Fahim, Jordan, Patrick, Alex, Thomas, Jason, everybody who helps with, you know, making sure I'm in top shape to play Sky Striker.
All right, I guess we can get started.
Yeah.
All right, guys, before we continue with today's video, I wanted to make sure that you guys knew about my newest giveaway, which is for this BLS Funko Pop. I am very excited to announce that at 2,900 subscribers, I will be giving away this pop. There is a video already up on my channel. The link will be down in the description. Make sure you guys go comment, I want the BLS pop, I want the BLS, in order for you guys to be able to enter this giveaway. Thank you.
So, of course, we play 3 copies of Ray, and we actually only play 1 Rose nowadays. I think this is the most ideal number. We do have better ways, or more ways to get into Engine because we play the new card linkage. And in testing, more than 1 Rose has been kind of clunky, but it does still come up to out certain boards and things like Nat Beast for Naturia. And of course, best normal summon in the game. For the event, we did opt to play 3 Nibiru and 3 Ash Blossom for our hand traps. Nib was actually pretty terrible, especially in hindsight, because it's only good against Kashtira, which, spoiler alert, I actually played nothing but Kashtira for the most part. But yeah, Nib was terrible in that regard because people really just are very conscious of this right now. So they end up playing around it anyway. Ash was pretty good all throughout. It was honestly the best hand trap. It probably is the best hand trap for the format, in the time being at least, because it stops things like Brain Infusion and hits every deck pretty well. So moving forward, I'll probably cut this card completely. For the Striker spells, we have 3 linkage. This card is really nice, it's fun, and it's nifty. It lets you dodge things like Imperm and Veiler. Lets you OTK.
Not once per turn.
Not once per turn. A lot of people, actually like 4 people, were shocked that this card is not once per turn, but what Striker spell is once per turn, guys? Come on. We played the second best Striker spell, Widow Anchor. Y'all know what this does. I mean, it negates and it takes. We played double Afterburner because I forgot to mention earlier, this deck does blind second. There's too much advantage lost with not going second with this deck. Not to go second. Let's try saying that 10 times fast. But yeah, this outs a lot of problem monsters, and it also acts as MST. Hornet Drone, of course, makes a token, gets you to Engine. Shark Cannon is a one of because it's DD Crow, so it plays through things like Branded in Red, and it also does come up against things like Sword Soul, you know, taking 10 names away, and reborning the floor in the end phase is always nice. Engage. This card can come back to 3.
Konami, you heard the man.
Multi-roll. This card can also come back to 2. It's actually not anything relevant anymore. We still play 1 field spell because it's the automatic like brain dead name to mill with the Hayate, and drawing 0 with multi-roll is still like a nostalgic little 2-card combo. Now for the rest of the spell cards, we have triple Lightning Storm. Blind Second plays and trades well into a lot of things. I played 3 triple Tactic Talent. I did test Thrust because I know that someone's going to ask about that. In testing, Thrust seemed really clunky. In theory, it can get you to cards like Engage and Triple Tactic Talent, but every time I had it, I'd rather it just be Engage or Triple Tactic Talent. And it did clunk up a lot because, again, like, it promotes you playing extra like multiple copies. Like, playing it at 1, you're not going to see it, so you had to play multiple, and I didn't like that at all. I still play the 2 Desires. This card says draw 2. Change your heart, you blind second, and this gets you into something that we play in the extra deck. Actually came up quite a bit that day. Feather Duster, Rhoda, Extra Ray, and the best spell card outside of the Striker spells, 3 Book of Moon. This is a turn neutral card. We unfortunately cannot play Eclipse in this deck because the Striker monsters, or the Striker deck, has a hard time beating over an entire board. But this lets you go first or second, especially post side. This is a turn skip for the most part. If you just hit the Cashier Unicorn on summon, they have to open an extra extender, and you have other cards to deal with that. And the last 3 cards, of course, Imperm, second best hand trap.
And how many in the main?
40 in the main, always 40 in the main. I wanted to play Upstart, 39, but yeah, extra next. So for the extra, of course, we played the 2 tokens. We played 1 Kaina, double Hayate, triple Kagari, and triple Shizuku. Pretty standard. 1 Zeke. I also played the Light and the Dark Charmer. Generically, I feel like they're the best. This could have been Asa, but I needed ways to clear the Nib token. I also played the BLS Link. In theory, this card was crazy, but it never really came up. There was 2 occasions where I could have made it in the tournament, but it wasn't the optimal play. And the last 2 cards, Zeus. There's plenty of ways for this deck to inherently take your monsters between Triple Tactic Talent, Change of Heart, Widow Anchor. So, and Arise Heart, as everybody knows, is a mandatory trigger. So it's really easy to talent the deck, take, and just make a really big Zeus. And there's a lot of moments where you can actually have a Striker Link up top with Zeus in the bottom, switch this to attack mode, crash the Link into a monster, trigger the Ray as Chainlink 1 and Chainlink 2 Zeus to attach dead cards in the matchup from the main deck so you don't draw it, and to reload the Zeus. And Ray will float out and deal tag out, and of course her attack, and then Zeus on top of that. That came up once or twice, and a lot in testing. And lastly, side deck, Lancia. This is an extremely good card right now. It's of course phenomenal. Against Keshtira. It's pretty decent into branded as well if you want to just be extra, but hits random things like Fluandries too. DD Crow. This is to play through branded in red and cards like so. It doesn't negate the activation, so it can play through branded Lost. Cyclone. This is something you have to absolutely just auto side in games 2 and 3 because you have to respect anti-spell fragrance. That's really the only card that will blow you out. If you play the deck correctly, you shouldn't lose to things like Lightning Storm or Evenly Matched. That's the only card that you really need to keep in mind. And the last 6 cards are there can be only 1 and D-Barrier. So again, people like to side back row hate against Sky Striker because natively it's supposed to be good. This does a lot by itself, and this is chainable. If the player that you're playing against knows how to deal with the matchup, and they're practiced and versed in playing Sky Striker, they're going to make you go first, even if they lose the previous game. Because the Hayate sets up too much and engage double over is a lot to deal with for most decks. So you have to just assume that you're going to go first. And these are the best cards that handle the most matchups without committing to the board. So you usually just try and stick one of these. Shizuku will summon and search engage for follow-up. This will stun them enough and you just kind of outgrind them and out-resource them the following turn. But yes, that is the deck profile. Hope it wasn't too lengthy, and shout outs to Galaxy Gaming for hosting the event, and to Team Elite Savij for featuring me on the channel and having me. Sorry I got the video in late. Thank you.
Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Don't forget that I have a Facebook group called YuGiOh Elite Savij. If you guys want to join us, all you got to do is just click the link down in the description. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to join our Elite Savij family. And I'll see you guys on the next video.